Hello, everybody, and welcome to. Oh, I forgot.
No, I don't want
there's a little delay in the stream for sure compared to when I'm talking.
Hello, guys, and welcome once again to another round of the AOR PC Split 1 Championship. We are here at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps for another round. I believe it's round 11 of the championship. I could be wrong there. I'm Ryan.
You are correct.
Thank you, and that is Chris. He is back after a week's absence because of his internet. He's fine now, which is great, and Chris, welcome back.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. What a round to come back to. It is the legendary Spa-Francorchamps. We have got, and to make it even more interesting, we have a dry quali and a wet race. I have just checked the weather. It is chucking it down to start with. The rain peters out later on, but does not stop. So, Nick B, I'm glad to see him back in the car. He was considering jacking in. Thankfully, we see him back in the Ferrari. He is on circuit at the moment. Next one out is Kalon. Both Ferraris getting out early. Ed Nicky in the Renault is on track, along with Afro in the McLaren. RBK in the Toro Rosso has just left the pits. We have Ramdrop in the Red Bull. We have got Berg von Trips in the Mercedes. We have Street, a new name, in the Williams, and apparently no one can hear me on my streams. I'm just going to double check something. I know exactly what's wrong. Bear with me. You take over for me for a second, Ryan, please.
Okay, Chris. We shall also mention we have the Ted Kravitz, the Finnish Ted Kravitz of the series, and you guys think he's Kimi Räikkönen as well. Marco FD back once again. Marco, great to see you once again.
Hello, Ryan, and hello, Chris, and hello, everyone on the stream, both Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, as Chris mentioned, the strategy is very reminiscent of last week, Ryan, because I believe the race started on full wets back then as well, and then it went to inters, and in contrast to the predictions, it came to dry in the end, remember?
It did indeed. We could see a repeat of last week, which caused some surprises last week. We saw Streets making his second appearance in AOR, as he's currently a reserve driver, and he got pole position last time out, so he could go 2 for 2 today, and he looked pretty good in the wet as well, so we've got to keep an eye on him tonight as well. And we also have a new driver making an appearance in the series. Chris, do you know who that driver is?
It is going to be, I'm looking down the list, it's Dave, I understand, is who you're looking at.
There he is now, coming out the pits for his first quali in Split 1, and he's on the soft tyres. He's taking it very carefully out of the pits. He doesn't want to cause some drama already in his first race, so hopefully he won't have that tonight. And yeah, it should be quite interesting tonight. Of course, we have the wet race like we saw last time out in Germany, and again, Berg von Trips took the victory there last time by to close the gap to Wycombs at the top of the standings. It's going to get very tasty these last few rounds of the championship. And we're on board with Nicky then in the banana of the Renault, coming into the end of the Kemmel Straight, and he's done a 30 flat first sector there for the Renault driver. Very good time there, as he's driving as K-Mag, Kevin Magnusson, who had an interesting Grand Prix today in Austria, I will say. And
that's one word.
I think he needs to put a bit of soap in his mouth after the team radio, I will say, when he's coming to the pit there. Oh, and Nicky loses that back end there, going into the corner. There's a little bit of a lag there from him as well, and he backs out of it completely, so he's completely doesn't ruin the lap there. Afro makes a return back after missing out last week in Germany in the McLaren, and he's going through Pouon. Probably one of my favourite corners on this track, along with Eau Rouge. And it's very nicely done there from the McLaren driver, driving as JB tonight, as he's going through that middle sector there. So, Marco, what times are we expecting from these guys tonight around Spa in these overcast conditions? What would you be thinking of a time here?
Very good question, Ryan. Well, first of all, you're gonna expect everyone to max out the laps that they can, since they don't have to start on these tires. So we might see some, let's say, drivers take a little more, gambles out there. I'd say projected pole time around here is very low, 45, so 45.2, maybe even a flat.
We'll see as we just saw Afro there slip himself into P3, but Berg von Trips currently the fastest man of the qualifying session by over nearly half a second from RBK, who won last week's driver of the day. So lots of RBK fans out tonight, hopefully, to support him as well. And I've got to say, Streets as well was second, I believe, in the votes in his first race. So he did pretty well there. Maybe he can go one step further and win tonight's driver of the day, which we will be doing later in the race, guys. With 10 laps to go, you guys will have a chance to vote for who you think deserves this week's driver of the day. And yeah, we shall see who you guys want to vote for. On board with Ramdrop then in the Red Bull, driving as Max Verstappen. He had some poor luck today, I'm not going to lie. Again, as he's coming then towards Blanchimont, then he's set a 48 flat middle sector, so not a bad time that in that middle sector there from Ramdrop as he's coming in to Blanchimont right now, completely flat through here and absolutely done there beautifully as he comes up to the bus stop chicane, which has had so many changes over the years. This one is the most recent one, of course, as he's coming in to that final corner, and this will be somewhere around the 146 territory for Ram. It's a 147 flat, 147.1, sorry, and he moves himself up to P4.
On the soft tyres, interestingly as well. So only Failer has actually jumped onto the top spot on the super soft tyres by 3/10 dead over Berg von Trips.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Oh, see Kalon's off at the gravel. I don't know where that corner is, and we also saw Fukataro as well losing it. I believe that's at turn 1, and he's back on his merry way. That's a weird one, that from Fukataro. Very weird to see someone spinning at turn 1 at that point there. So I'm just going to quickly just do something on my end. There we go.
Oh, we've got a problem. We've got several people leaving the session, it looks like.
So it could be a restart of
I
the
think
lobby.
we are looking at a restart then, because we've got loads of people.
We might get different weather then as well, guys.
We may get some tasty weather. So obviously, if you guys don't, Mark, could you just explain to the viewers what's happening right now, so everyone can understand what's going on?
Well, basically, I think everyone is disconnecting. Probably a Steam issue, so they are probably going to set up the lobby again and start qualifying again. So basically, any lap times that have been set right now are, basically
null and
scrapped.
void.
Null and void. So obviously, this happens after I think it's when someone, if they don't get a lap in or something, that they can do a restart. I think they get one main restart and then people can come back in, I believe. So at the minute, we'll just watch some drivers who are still in the lobby just go around and get some practice in, of course. So a lot of these guys will be thinking, okay, this is good, this is good. No wet race potentially. We could see a wet quali. You never know. But you guys get more time of AOR tonight, so that's good news for you guys in the chat as well, along on Chris's Twitch stream as well. So it's great to see all of you coming out tonight for this one, and we'll see if there is going to be a dry race, because that would really spice it up a bit. In terms of strategy tonight, Marco, of course people can do the one-stop round here, it can be done, but would you see most likely the top 10 to go for the two-stop tonight?
Depends if they are going to restart and it's a dry race. I think the top 10 preferably gonna set their fastest time on these softs and go for the one stop, right?
We shall see, of course. So Torpedo is back. Yes, he is indeed. So what we're doing now is I think all the drivers now are going to be out of the session. We're just waiting for, obviously Chris has left, so that's obviously a sign we have to leave the lobby.
I've just got an invite to the next session. So what I'm going to do on the Twitch side is bring up the current championship standings. I think that was also brought up in the chat earlier on by Reese Benjamin. Thank you very much to you, sir. So just going to bring up the current standings. Just get the right scene here and wait for that to pop up. There we go then. So there you see Wycom's taking the way. He's holding on to that lead with third position last time out in Germany, but only 11 points now over Berg von Trips, who won last week. Obviously, Nick B slipping down to third position. He's just had a terrible run of luck. Started very well with 4 podiums in the first 4 rounds, but sadly has had terrible luck since then. And Alfred 4, Ramdrop 5, RBK 6th with 4 out of the 5 rounds he's done being on the podium. So excellent effort for him. Fizzifan is slipped down to 7th with Failure 8. Fab Donoso has missed the last couple of rounds, so he's in 9th with Fugataro rounding out the top 10. And of course, Mana streaking away at the top of the charts with a full 1-2 in points value ahead of Mercedes, McLaren 3, Ferrari 4, and Red Bull 5, with Toro Rosso 6th. Force India 7 and Haas 8, Williams 9, and Renault running out the top 10. But what's interesting is, whilst we only have 4 race winners, we have got quite a large number of fastest laps, poles, and podium winners there are no fewer than there's a 9 pole position sitters, and same with fastest laps. And I think the same. Yeah, we have 9 people that have set poles, fastest laps, and sat on the podium.
Interesting. I've just got some news in the chat from Max, who's obviously in the lobby, of course, that the reason why we've restarted the lobby was Slick got disconnected at the start of qualifying, and obviously the rules state that if a driver disconnects before someone sets a time, then we restart the lobby. So that is the reason why we've restarted the lobby, guys. So just I want to clear that up. So a massive shout out to Max in the chat for letting me know there. So thank you very much, Max.
So he wasn't able to join back then, I assume?
Because I think we saw in the lobby when we were joining in, obviously you guys didn't see it, that Slick was having issues with loading the game, of course. So that might be the reason why.
Yeah, but usually you can join, like rejoin a lobby even if you disconnect, but...
Or
maybe he was unable to do so.
Or maybe people are complaining that it's going to rain for the race and they want it to be dry. So I think we've got a full lobby now, guys, so we are ready to go once again. So I would do the AOR intro again, but I really can't be bothered, so...
As you're already here.
I am. So what I'll do is I'm just going to crop up the failed qualifying session, and we'll just stick the quali in from where we are, of course. So that's what I'll clear that up on my side. Obviously, you won't have any issues of that, Chris, because you have the joys of Twitch, and while I have numerous hours of editing to do, and then about 2 hours of processing on YouTube side for the altered video. So I've got I've got loads of time tonight. So.
And the session is kind of we only have 5 rounds left. Hypnotisement, you are correct in that. It's a shorter season than normal this season, as the impending release of F1 2017 kind of makes this one a bit shorter. Can't wait.
I just want to query a question I got in the chat a few weeks ago regarding if I'm ever going to come back in season 14. The answer to that is no. I am definitely taking a very, very long break from league racing. And I just love doing this. I love commentating AOR. I've just had so much fun with you, Chris, over the season, along with Marco as well, and I just want to keep doing it. So
it has been great fun commentating alongside you, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. Do appreciate it. So here's the epic intro once again. Which I'm going to skip that completely. So any bets for wet race and wet quali? That would be great. It is Spa.
Let's see.
Well, Slick's got in.
The social, it was a wet quali, dry
wet
race.
Quali. We have a wet quali. Oh, I've done it again. I've hit F2, not F1.
We've got
the race.
Trying to get
dry. It's the opposite, basically.
Oh, that's the same as yesterday.
But it is sunny though, so that could affect tyre wear a little bit at the start. So we'll see what people do.
Quali and.
Let's go look at quali. If it's going to dry up in quali as well. It's going to be 10 minutes of rain.
It's interesting on the strategy because people get to start on fresh tires, and we can see people kind of mix it up, maybe.
Unless people want to, wait till the dry period comes and quali and just go for it and try and get on pole position. You never know. We could see an interesting quali today. I'm going to say that.
Is quali going to be drying up?
Yeah, it's going to dry up in about 10 minutes. So,
and Nicky has come out.
5 minutes to go, maybe. After that, we'll see some dry period. So we know Spa can dry up very quickly. We know this from experience of historic races around here, that it can dry up very quickly. So this may be an interesting quali here. We'll wait and see, as Nicky, as Chris just mentioned, the first man out then to tackle Spa. A fantastic track this is, I've got to say. One of my favourites to race on in whatever it is, career mode, league racing, or just commentating it. It's just a brilliant track. With famous corners, of course, Eau Rouge, as Nicky's gone off at the chicane after the Camel Straight. Obviously, Puon as well, another favourite corner of mine. And obviously Blanchimont as well, as Nicky's really struggling in these conditions, Chris.
We've got 14 people out, so no one is banking on the track drying out sufficiently, which is probably a safer way of doing it. They're not going to need the intermediate tyres come the race. Why not go out and set at least a banker lap in case the track doesn't dry sufficiently to set a drying lap later on, because by then it will be too late to make that decision. So nearly everybody is on circuit, 19 out of 22. Obviously 2 of those are myself and Ryan. So only 1 driver is still in the garage.
Tactics here, I think, for some of the guys, will just put a load of fuel in, put about 5 laps of fuel in, and that's what I do, and just keep pumping laps in as you go along. Just build
what sort of wings would you two normally run here? Because I mean, Spa is one of those circuits that has a mixture of heavy corners and long straights. So What wing settings would you run for this kind of race?
If you don't mind me starting off, Marco, for me,
Sure.
it's obviously in this session right now, you got the dry period for the race. So first and foremost, I'll look at the race weather. If it's dry, I'll go for a dry setup to start off with. In terms of the wings and all that, because it is, as you said, Chris, middle sector's completely downforce related, and the first two sectors are mainly like top speed related. So it is going to be tricky for these drivers to get it up. For me personally, and my driving style, I go for the higher wings to help me a little bit. Obviously, I'll lose a little bit on the straights, but I feel I'm a bit more confident in the corners where you can really gain as much time compared to the other two sectors. Marco, what would you do?
Well, it's quite the opposite, I guess, to you. In my case, it's 4-3 wings, if we're gonna put numbers on it. Which gives you a lot of straight line speed so that you can easily pass people in sector 1 and the last sector. You do compromise sector 2, but the guy behind you is stuck behind you anyways. So yeah, compromise sector 2 to get a good exit onto all those important straights.
For me, I'll be 7-6 wings, which is a little bit high for. I think
really
a lot of
high.
you will be like, "Oh, very high," but I just feel
Yeah, it is.
the middle sector for me, I feel a lot comfortable, and I can take a lot
You should
more
try
speed.
6-5 next time, Ryan. Trust
Yeah,
me.
well, I've got
For you.
Verstappen World Championship coming up in a few weeks around this track, so I may try that. And let's,
The Red Bull has good mechanical grip, so 5-4 in that case.
anyway, back to quali then. We have Afro, who we saw earlier, looking pretty strong as he's going through Puon. And he's done a 33.8 in the first sector, so I don't even know what the best time is in Inters right now, so I'm in unknown territory because I've never done a race around here in the wet, I believe, on F1 2016 in quali purposes, so I do not know.
Expect around 2 minutes in that time.
Oh, a 2-minute lap time. Oh, that feels long, doesn't it? Oh, lovely. As Afro does a 56.2, as we'll see if anyone's set a time yet. No one has set a time just yet. I'm just trying to find if anyone's about to finish their lap off right now. We've got Ram, I think, could be the first man across the line. Of course, Nicky as well. We've got about him. I don't know if he has set a time yet, but here comes Ram then to cross the line, and it's going to be a 2-minute 2 actually, and he goes P1 for the time being, as he's actually been dropped by Strees with a 2-minute 0.1. So very good time there. Nick B. Oh, Nick B's in a little bit above her. He's just had a little bit of a moment there with a Toro Rosso. You try to get out of the way as quickly as possible at Blanchimont, but hopefully that may have not lost him some time as he comes through the final corner. Does Nick B. Back end slides a little bit there. He's going to come up to the line. It is a 2-minute 1.1, which puts him P7 for the time. So that little bit of mistake there from the Toro Rosso may have distracted Nick B there a tiny bit.
Mathis just coming across the line in the Haas then. He's just he did set 8th. He's just been usurped. Let's see how the time he stands. Fab Racer has actually just dipped under the 2-minute mark, 1:59.3 in the McLaren as Fernando Alonso. Very nice indeed, sir.
Slick up to P6 with a 2-minute 1 flat, so a good time there. But I'm just going to say this: is it me, or does it's slowly degrading the rain a little bit? I don't know if it's me, but the rain is slowly easing slightly, and there's a little bit of a drop. I think that was Williams just off there. I don't know who that was. I think maybe just letting them through. But I believe some parts of the track it's stopped raining, but there is still a tiny bit of rain falling right now. So we could see some drivers pitting for dries maybe if it dries up as quickly as possible. So we'll wait and see as Nooker goes through the middle sector. Runs a little bit wide at Puon, driving as my man Daniel Ricciardo as he's going through the middle sector. Very crucial sector this is. It's all downforce related, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, as he's going through very easily and tight as well through these corners. Was a little bit wide there, goes over the curb, just loses that back end a tiny bit there. But what's his sector time going to be? It's a 1:28.6, a 55.8. Not a bad middle sector for Nooker. Just the back end slides a little bit there and nearly clips the wall as well on that inside. So we'll wait and see if that has affected his lap there.
The back end just not wanting to bite on that red board. And this seems to be what we're seeing, particularly out of the slower corners. We saw one of the Manners get very, very snaky earlier on as well. When the first laps were being set, one of the Ferraris on the home straight also got very snaky. As again, we see the Red Bull twitching everywhere. Well held. That gets Nooker 7th. I'm sure he would have lost time trying to get that car straight again.
On board then with the current championship leader, Wycombe's in the manor, as he's got actually Nooker ahead of him here, so he could get some cheeky slipstream here from the Red Bull. But Nooker maybe on an actual lap, we don't know yet if he is or he's going to back off here. But going up Eau Rouge then absolutely flat in dry conditions, but in the wet, they have to lift off, and Wycombe's having a little bit of struggle there. Up Eau Rouge, just couldn't commit enough speed through there. Coming down the straight then, what's his first sector going to be? It's a 32.2, 4 tenths up on his best lap actually. He's down in 12th place, so not a good start for Wycombe's, but maybe he's just getting a bank lap, getting a feel for the track in these conditions right there. And he's actually catching up to Nooker very slowly, so hopefully Nooker's not going to hold him. He runs a little bit wide though, just locking up the front right tyre as he's going up to the corner of No Name now. Very crucial corner to get this one right. Gets over the curb a little bit, hits that apex beautifully and on exit as well, keeps it very clean. Coming up then to Pouon then. He's going to be braking just before the 50 metre board, just after the 50 metre board, taking it in 5th gear there. Absolutely clean and precise there from Wycombe's. And short shifts up there as well to reduce the rear traction so you don't spin out there. He's going to take it very carefully through the first of these very twisty parts of the track here in 4th gear, and up to 5th as well, just as I mentioned, just to reduce the rear end from backing out there or sliding out like a salmon, of course. Into the last sector then, 1:27.9, and I think that's probably one of the quickest middle sectors we've seen in the session so far, I believe. So fair play to Wycombe's here, driving as Pascal Verlaine. He's coming down then towards Blanchimont, and maybe a little bit of slipstream here from Nooker ahead of him may help him here. Just lift up there, Blanchimont not flat in these conditions, and breaks very late into the final corner of the bus stop chicane and gets very close to Nooker, who backs into the pit, so fair play to him. And is this going to be pole position? He just loses the back end there, and he's going to nearly hit the wall and gets a 2-minute free. Puts in P8 though, so even with a mistake, he puts it in a very good position actually, so fair play to Wycombe.
He was a couple of tenths down in the second sector. He was like 400ths off in the first sector, so very, very tight there, but lost a couple of tenths in sector 2. And of course, with that great swimming effort from the manor, how he kept that out of the wall, that was a bit of an eye-opener there from Wycombe's, but 8th position is his for now.
Maffes
Maybe he has a lot of fuel on board, and he's just like Ryan mentioned earlier, pumping in the laps. I also want to mention that the Eau Rouge is quite tricky in the wet, because if you lift too much, the back end just slides out. If you are too much on the power, your car just understeers, or basically you go off.
RBK is currently in second then. I think he's just started another time lap. Oh, saying that, he's just jumped straight across the top of Eau Rouge, and that's pretty much that lap done with. So second position then for the Toro Rosso. Fab Racer and the McLaren still holding on to that pole position.
Gotta say, Max impressing again, P3 for the Force India, so I've got to say, Mr. Consistent, I've got to say, in qualifying is Max driving as Perez, so maybe that inner Sergio Perez inside him is getting these good consistent performances like we see him doing this season actually, Perez and Ocon, so fair play to Max in a good position there. But Berg in P4 after his win last week, 7 tenths off the pace, so very interesting here. And looking at the sector times quickly for Fab Racer, he's what, about 2 tenths ahead in the first sector. Again, a bit in the he's actually quicker than all sectors actually, so he's only just ahead of RPK in the last sector by about 2/100ths there, so interesting. We shall see as Fab Racer continues on then. There's another lap of 32.5. Not the quickest, about 3 tenths off his best time. So we'll wait and see. As RBK is actually going very slowly actually, so I don't know what's going on with him. He's ghosting, so maybe he's got a problem, or he's just running out. He's run out of fuel maybe. I'm not too sure, but he's going very slowly in that last sector. So hopefully no driver will get affected on this lap by RBK.
So I'm looking at Berg then as he's come through. I think that's, yeah, so he's just come through Pouon. He's heading into the campus chicane. So turns 13, 14, then heading down towards Stavolo. Again, the back end trying to get away from him. He's caught that pretty early on. So through Stavolo, now heading down to Paul Freire. Lovely aerial camera angle there. Just shows where that driver line is. It's damp on that driver line as the rain is getting very light now, but nowhere near dry conditions. Through Blanchimont. Slightly wide there on the exit. That could well have been the lap, but he's coming up to the chicane. See if he finishes this one or pits it. He's going to finish it, so we'll see. He's already been demoted to 5th, so we'll see who has jumped up above. And he doesn't
59.5.
improve on his... And it was Ramdrop that jumped into 4th position then with a 2 minutes .022.
It's so interesting to see so many drivers that you usually expect a little lower on the starting grid are now up on the
I will say,
usual guys that are on top.
this man on your screen, Strees, fastest in the first sector with a 32.1, a tenth quicker than our current pole man right now. So Strees maybe can go for 2 poles in a row. Be great to see. But I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is getting a little bit brighter right now on circuit. So I don't think it is going to dry up enough for dry tyres. But this man, Strees, is on a charge right now and could get a pole position once again, so we'll see if he can do it, as he's coming then driving as Valtteri Bottas in this race, as he was in McLaren last week. He makes the switch to Williams, as he is a reserve driver, remember guys, so you may not see him in the rest of the season, but I think he'll be back for a full season, because I think this guy is a potential contender for the championship maybe in the future, is Strees. Coming into the last corner then, and I think he may have backed out of the lap there, I'm not too sure, but he's going to come up to the line. It put a 201 there, so I think he backed out there in the last sector, and he's on a charge once again. So one to keep an eye out there is Strees in P6.
He did look very slow in that chicane. Either he chosen to take the second part of that chicane very, very tight, or he decided that this is actually going to be his flying lap. But I mean, saying that, those last sectors were pretty darn good, especially as you say, Ryan. That 32.1 first sector was absolutely blinding. Let's see what he clocks in at this time to see if he's pushing on, and of course the rain now near enough is 31 again, so it could be that the rain is still falling, but only just, so it could be that that racing line is actually beginning to start to get dry, so the amount of grip is going to obviously improve, but with 3.5 minutes to go, it's still nearly everybody is on track, so the more laps that go out, the drier that line's going to become, and more those times are going to continue to fall, so it's good to... It is best for these drivers just to bolt on those tyres and just roll the dice and see what happens.
Indeed, and he actually had a little bit of help there from his teammate who's just behind him as well. And I think that's Andre, I believe, if that is correct. If he's racing this week, is he? No, he's not actually. I don't know who the other.
So he's not with us. So I'm not 100% sure who. Oh, it's Steve that's in the other Williams.
Steve, yes, Steve, who's now fully permanent now at Williams, I believe. So he's actually Steve's going to get a little bit of slipstream from Strees here. Not by much though, because he is putting away his Strees. It's just a 55.3 middle sector, which actually is about 2 tenths off Ramdrop, who's got the fastest middle sector by 2 tenths of a second. So this could be close here between Strees and our poleman, who is still Fav Racer. And he's coming into the final corner then. Is Strees, is this going to be pole position for the... Is he German? Is he? No, he's not, is he? He's French, sorry. So any apologies to French fans out there. He comes across line, it's pole position with a 59.2. A 10.
59. Yeah, just 1.5 tenths ahead of Fab Racer. Very nicely done.
He's got
to... Nicky... Go on.
I'm just going to say he's got to keep going. He's just got to keep pushing on this lap and just
different purple sectors as well on the top 3. Everyone has their own purple sector.
Yeah.
Is
so Strees has sector 1, Ramdrop sector 2, and Fab Racer sector 3. Fizzy's just slotted into 5th position.
Ramdrop about to cross the line then. There's yellow flags out as well in that last sector, and he goes pole now with a 58.5, so the track is getting a lot quicker now. So I think, as you mentioned, Chris, the dry line now, you can just clearly see it now on the track. It is still raining, but that line is developing nicely for these drivers to really push and attack. Berg now slips into P2 now, as the track is getting extremely fast now. So we don't know who's going to get pole position right now, because the times are tumbling down. And realistically, whoever's the last man to cross the line in qualifying most likely has a great chance of pole position here. And we'll see right now. So put your bets on right now in the chat who you think is going to get pole position, because I would love to see you guys want right now. But this is going to get very interesting with a minute to go, Chris and Marco. It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it really could be anybody.
Yeah, it is a toss-up for sure.
Even Fab Racer. You've got to remember Fab Racer, who was provisionally on pole position as well. Even Fizzy, maybe. You don't know. All these guys are all out on track.
Was strong in the wet last week as well.
He was indeed. It's all about whoever gets that across the line first is the man who's going to have a great chance of pole. But we'll wait and see. Just going to try and find where Strees is. He's going to be the first man of the top 5 to cross the line right now. And what's his time going to be then? We're about to find out, as he's got a Ferrari ahead of him here. So this could actually help him a little bit with a little bit of slipstream. And he's going to a 58.8, so he stays in P3 right now. But has he got enough fuel to do one more flying lap here with 13 seconds to go on the clock? And he's actually going to get a little bit of help here from that Ferrari. So could get a good first second here, Strees, and you never know.
I'm just watching Fab race. He's not going to cross the line in time to start a lap. Nope, the checker flag is out, and he's just missed out on starting a new lap. He remains in 6th position.
So on board with Ram, who's currently on pole position, as I think he's backed out of it. So Ram is done for the day. I think Berg's run out of fuel, I think, so he's definitely out of the running for pole. And Strees, unfortunately, has Kalon ahead of him here in the Ferrari, who's not letting him through. So Kalon is also on a lap as well. You've got to remember that. So Strees can't be like, Kalon, can you just get out of the way, please? But nah, it's going to hold him up there as Kalon does get through. And I think he may have lost a bit of time there. I think Strees may back it up. He has indeed. Strees has backed out of that one, so he's done for the day. But Max now on track in the Force India. He may be the only one left at a time, and Max hits the wall, and he is done for the day in that qualifying session there. Next up on the road, I think on a lap, RBK's backed out of it as well, and I think everyone's now done, I think.
Yeah,
oh, Nick B! Nick B! He's just lost it.
Oh!
He's just hit the wall. He's hit some debris. So really, the only man left on track is the debutant tonight, Dave, in that Williams, and he runs a little bit wide going into the final sector and driving as Felipe Massa, who we know is pretty good in the wet conditions, so maybe that can help him a little bit in this Grand Prix tonight as he's coming up towards bronze, but it is still raining here in Spa, so a full wet quali then. So I was a little bit disappointed that the game said it was going to be dry in 10 minutes, so GG as he's coming through Bronchemont then. And
it is still raining as well.
It is, and he's coming into the final corner. Oh, Dave just has a bit of a lock-up on the front right. Not affected him, no. Coming into the last corner, then is he going to improve and get a top 10 start? That'll be great for his first race in AOR. It's going to be P14 still, so didn't improve that on that lap. So Chris, as always, will you take us through the grid as soon as it pops up for this round of round 11 of AOR?
I certainly will do. We're just waiting on Max and Berg to officially retire from the session. Both of them are back in the pits, 2nd and 4th respectively. So, yep. Oh, Berg's retired. Just waiting on Max then to click the button.
So did Ram do it in the end? I think he did.
I think Ram did get pole.
He did, yeah.
His first pole of the season.
Good job for him.
Nicely done. Still waiting. Still waiting for the game. There we go. Max is now retired. It should give me the quality results any second.
There we go.
There we go. So Ramdrop did indeed get that pole spot with a Berg 2nd, Strees 3rd. Great effort from him. Max 4, Ycoms 5, Fab Racer 6, Slick 7, RBK in 8th, Fugataro 9, Papa Socrates in 10th, Nick B 11, Fizzy 12, Afro 13, D 14, N Nicky 15, Nuka 16, Kanon 17, Failure 18, Maffas 19, Chicane in 20th, and Ryan heads me in the commentator battle.
Yes. It's a great feeling.
Aww.
That is. It's a great feeling to be on there. So
Game I can't participate this week in this, you guys.
you know, you're always in a Red Bull or something, and you always win. So you know, gives us a fair chance tonight. So
yeah.
So all we're doing, guys, if you are new to the AOR, then basically me and Chris have to back out of the lobby, and then we'll come back in during the formation lap. So we become like not ghosted cars. So if we stay in the session, we'll be solid cars when we retire, and it could affect the drivers. Like there could be some contact in there. So that's why we're back out in the lobbies, and then we can come back in again very shortly. And we'll
that's interesting. I just tried to rejoin, and it told me the session was full.
Oh dear. Yeah, my session's
That's
full
hard.
as well.
That's awkward.
Oh, this could be awkward actually. It could
Did
be
some stranger join or something?
The best not.
Oh.
No, you should try and wait for the parade lap because they're setting up the cars.
It doesn't look like we have a choice.
We don't have a choice right now. We're just frantically trying to join right now. But
Well, that's going to make for a rather.
short.
We'll just guess that. Well, yeah, we'll just guess the commentary.
We could just stay like this, like la la la, la you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'll keep the viewers.
No, we won't keep. There's got 171 watching this, expecting a Grand Prix tonight. So you know,
that would definitely be awkward.
this will be very awkward. But we'll still we'll try our very best to get in. We try.
I'm getting nowhere.
I'm getting
So
nowhere.
we'll just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, if
Parade lap has started.
parade lap has begun.
We can't still get in.
And I can't get in, unfortunately. Well, if the parade lap completes, and we'll just keep trying.
Yeah.
But if it gets too
I'll
long,
take
then
a look at Nuka's stream to see if anyone joined the lobby in your stead or something. I don't know.
well, we're assuming someone must have. This is where I find out I've been trying to join the wrong lobby.
Yeah, they can take your spot though.
Well, that's what I thought. But Cody's again giving us a great, reliable, bulletproof system.
Nah, we can't join.
No,
Really?
Nah.
it is looking that way. I mean, you've got the same problem, Ryan. So it's
have.
nothing we've done, unless I'm assuming it's a Cody's bug, as opposed to I can't believe someone's joined that quickly.
I know. I bet someone, has joined. So
I'll tell the lobby real quick as long as they're on the quali lap or.
Well, I mean, they may as well continue with the race. You can't reset up the race in the correct order in any other way. So
unless
they
they
can't
do a lap.
parade lap like we do in Project Cars, where you call out the racing order. But I mean, that's just an arduous pain to do that.
And yep, apparently Berg's taken the lead, but I doubt that. So yeah, just to let you know, guys, I'm actually racing right now, and I'm on pole position. So
Just keep retrying, guys. Supposed to rejoin. You're supposed to be able to rejoin as quick as possible, but there's someone joined for some reason, I guess.
oh dear. So someone's joined, guys. So that's great, isn't it? I'm just trying different AOR
Interesting.
drivers to So someone's basically
Why not?
joined. So this is really frustrating. Obviously, we want to commentate this, and someone has joined us. Has joined the
just
lobby.
try and keep rejoining until you get in, I guess.
Great. Well, this is the weirdest commentary I've ever done.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? I could try and get ram drop
We're
stream.
still on the formation lap, so.
I could try and get ram drop stream on the broadcast so people can watch that.
Yeah, Nuka's here as well, from the back. Maybe you can do that one, Chris.
Oh, this is the first time I've ever experienced this right now.
Yeah, this is odd.
Boom thinks
Yeah.
this is the best Grand Prix in AOR history. I agree.
Mhm.
I agree.
I mean, this is the first time that we've had a full lobby, and it looks like we are not going to be able to commentate on it, which is highly, highly frustrating.
Yep, very frustrating.
I didn't even know you could do this.
I've never experienced this before, so
No.
this isn't championship mode, isn't it? Like championship.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think we've had full lobbies before, and we've never had this issue. So
Nope.
Maybe you can join when the race has started for some odd reason. It's a Cody's thing. Try again, guys. Race is starting.
okay, we'll wind them up. We're here for no reason. We have no idea what's going on here for the Belgian Grand Prix. The lights are out, and away we go here in Spa-Francorchamps. And Fizzy's crashed already into the main straight, and he loses the back end, takes out 6 cars,
And
it's-
everyone's caught fire.
everyone's crashed right now. All fire, guns blazing right now. And who's this? Chris comes onto the track and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. He's the only man remaining on the track right now. And it's pouring it down with rain here. It's throwing it down. Monsoon. And they're going to have to stop they've red flagged the race. They've red flagged the race. And they're not going to restart. So Chris is the winner. So there you go, guys.
Hurrah!
Chris
So
is
try
your...
to rejoin again, guys. I mean, there's 22 people in the lobby for some reason.
Well, there's 22 people in, unless it didn't register the
keep
fact that we
rejoining.
left.
That's got to be a good thing, actually. That's a good thing. So, yeah, this is... if you could tweet Cody's, guys, this issue, then that would be great. If you could do that, that would be fantastic right now.
I think with the impending launch of F1 2017, I'm not sure they're going to do much about this one.
Thing is, you can join game, can't you? That's the thing. We have... Like, if you could join people... We could join people off, like, saying it says join... Because if it was a full lobby, that join game would be cut off, so... This is, I think, a glitch or a bug
Yeah.
from Cody's side of things, so...
It's not like we could try and watch a driver because we would only see their perspective. We wouldn't see anything else. We wouldn't be able to flick through the field.
Right now. What an amazing start. Okay. Someone said maybe restart on one-shot quali. Doubt it. So they wouldn't really restart a lobby because of the commentators. So
no. Unfortunately, this issue seems to be specific to myself and
Wycombe's
Ryan.
retires.
oh,
Already?
Wycombe's is out. Well, there's a spoiler, guys. The championship lead is out.
Join.
Oh, maybe
He hasn't left the
Wycombe's,
session though.
Wycombe's may have some issues as well. Maybe he
Maybe,
may have the full lobby issue. We can't restart Solman. It is down to Fizzy. He is the man that could make. He makes the final decision. But we have never seen this before in AOR.
Nope.
Actually, that's a good point. Restart the lobby. Restart the game. Why don't I think of that? I'm gonna restart my game and see if it happens. So,
But you carry on. I'll keep carrying. I'll keep just poking it and see if it'll. I mean, technically, it shouldn't make a difference because we are still registered in the server. But hey, there shouldn't be blooming Christmas tree light tire colours going on. So
I'm gonna try this. If this works, then whoever's in the chat that first mentioned it is a legend. Let's see if I can join. Oh no, session's full. Okay,
it was a fair shout.
fair shout in the chat. So no, we can't. So
Wouldn't that be funny? We can't join, but Marco could. That would be quite amusing. But no, that one can't work either.
So I'm afraid I think that's gonna have to wrap it up. I think unless
Yeah, unfortunately. See, Hypnotizer says there's 19 people in the race. Yeah, because we know that Wycombe's has just crashed out, but he's still in the session.
Still says 22 drivers on Nuka's screen as well.
All right.
Oh no, then never mind. It's 19.
And now says 19.
Yeah.
So if we join, theoretically we should be fine. But
Yeah, but we can't join. But
I
unfortunately,
wonder
ladies
who
and gentlemen,
those other races are that aren't supposed to be in this lobby.
I don't reckon it is. I think it is just a glitch that the game thinks we're still in it.
yeah,
Even though we've left at exactly the same kind of time that we normally do. For whatever reason, it's just decided that we haven't left, and it keeps thinking you can't invite to a session once the session started. Hypnotizement. That's why the invite can't happen now. And in the past, we've never had to do it. We can just normally join straight off of someone's name in Steam. So we used to have valid invites, and also technically it shouldn't make a difference because we'd still hit the same issue. But good thought nonetheless.
I think Burke took the lead, and Streets is in P2, and Ram is behind those guys because they both set the quickest lap first just now.
Well, for the Twitch side, on my side, I'm going to wrap this up because this is getting me nowhere.
YouTube side, I'll be streaming in 9 minutes. So I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I am going to stream for half an hour just to give you guys some content because I do feel sorry. We had over nearly 200 people watching it on my end, so I apologise, but it is not out of our hands right here. We can't do anything about it, so
no. That is a great shame. That really is a first, and obviously it's round 11 this season. I never had this at all last season. Throughout the entire season, all 20 races, or 21. How many did we do last season?
I can't remember. I was racing, so
you were in it, yeah.
I was racing, being crap, so.
No, don't sell yourself short, Ryan.
I am.
Reese Benjamin on my side asked Marco, can you send him the results over for the sake of the championship so that he can do his numbers when he's asked you specifically.
Why
Marco,
me?
would
I'm
you
not in the race.
can you do a boah to the chat?
Bois or a moi?
Both.
So for the Twitch side, I'm going to sign this off. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, but it is completely out of my hands. There's no point in me just streaming session full. So thank you for those that came on the Twitch side, and hopefully next time we'll have a race for you.
YouTube side, I'll be setting it up right now, and I hope to see you guys there.
What are you going to do?
No idea, but it's going to be half an hour. It's going to be half an hour stream, so I'm thinking maybe a classic.
If you're going to do some racing with some subs, then count me in, Ryan.
Yeah, maybe, or I may do a classic F1 2001 game, maybe.
No,
cheeky classic.
just whatever. So,
if not, then it will just be a quick race with the subs.
Yeah, do
Just
it.
let me know whenever.
So we'll see. But on my end, I'm going to wrap it up there. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes, guys, for a stream. Fingers crossed.
It's a shame you couldn't have like a 200 car lobby. Can you imagine that? 200 cars at Spa.
Yeah, we'll see. But on my end, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Adios, guys. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
See you next week.
Good night.
Well, 2 weeks, actually, because Silverstone is next week. So it's a 2-week break, guys. So, and I'm not here next week.
Silverstone!
I'm not here next week because I'm at Silverstone. So,
Oh, jealous.
Nice.
Where are you watching from?
Lovefield, I think.
Oh, I'm not green. I'm not green.
Anyway, guys, I'll see you in 2 weeks for AOR. But if not, if you want to watch the stream, I'll be 10 minutes. So, bye.